Hi, Ben here from Trout Fly Fishing, back with another quick take. Today I'm taking a look at the all-new Hardy Ultralite Trout Spey. It is one of the hottest trout speys on the market, so you're going to want to stay tuned to see how it casts. We've already reviewed some of the longer rods in Hardy's Ultralite two-handed series, but today we're going to be taking a look at the mini version. And in particular, we're going to be taking a look at the 11-foot 4-inch 4-weight. And this rod is going to be perfect for Alaskan rainbows, rivers like the Missouri or even the Madison. Places where you're going to want to do a little bit more than swing a wet fly, but maybe not going to be getting into some true steelhead. And while I'm quickly going to go through the features on this rod, if you want to see a little bit more in-depth look at how this rod is built, I would check out our other review because we're going to go into more detail in that video. The bottom line is this is going to be in line with the entire Hardy Spey series. Nice flared bottom hand grip, double down locking reel seat, smooth, really nice top grip, and standard Hardy construction throughout. But these quick takes are all about how it casts, so we're going to get out on the water right now.
I wanted to briefly interrupt this review to let you know that this video is supported 100% by your purchases at Trident Fly Fishing. So if you're in the market for some new tackle, check us out at tridentflyfishing.com.
When I picked up this rod, I read that it takes about a 350 grain Skagit. So I threw on a Rio Trout Skagit and gave it a cast, but that was way too light. And what we've seen with a lot of these Hardy two-handed rods is that the grain rating on the rod itself is a little bit on the light side. This here says 300 to 390, and I was fishing a 390 grain Skagit Scout. It's a very short 390 grain head. And frankly, that is absolutely as light as I would go. You're always gonna wanna try a couple of different lines on any two-handed rod, but I think the true range on this is probably somewhere in the 375 to 425 range. It's really a pretty powerful rod, but it's also extremely, extremely light. That's what makes this rod unique. You know, you're still gonna have the fun and ability to fish for smaller trout, albeit with a slightly bigger streamer, all the while casting a very light rod. And it performs well. You know, honestly, almost all of the trout speys that we've cast have been really good. They're just way easier to cast than their larger counterparts, and the difference between them is a lot more subtle. Now, with that said, if there is one downside to this rod, it's the price. At just a hair under $1,000, this new Ultralite NSX is quite expensive for a trout spey. And that probably means that it's not gonna be your first trout spey. If you're looking for a very high-end trout spey, this is a great one to start with. It's going to be a lot more relaxed and easier to cast than, say, some of the Sages. And of course, if you want to try a more Scandi-oriented line, this rod will do that as well. It's got a nice soft tip and a progressive flex that would lend itself well to both Skagit and Scandi casting. If you've got questions about this rod or your next trout spey rod, leave us a comment in the box below, or email us 24/7 at support@tridentflyfishing.com. I'm Ben, thanks for watching, we'll see you next time.